Good morning, friends. I'm Yogesh Sarode of June Vikas Mahavidyalaya Deogram. In the last video, you have seen first lesson, My Lost Dollar, about the author Stephen Leacock, and summary part of that. Now, today, I am bringing this video for you to understand analysis part of this lesson. This is very interesting lesson as far as the old remembrance are concerned. So we'll see the interpretation. We have seen that there are two main characters. One is Todd and one Mr. Leacock, who is the author. We have seen introduction also. The second part, that is analysis, we are going to see now. This story bristles with subtle humor. Writing with an intention to amuse the reader, the story mixes comical expressions, moralizing and self-pity to view a story around a friend's failure to repay a loan of just $1. This is the central idea. The author who has lent the dollar is too distant to ask for a refund because the amount is very small. How to ask for return, but finds it hard to write it off from his mind. Amount is very small, so to ask that you should return my $1, that can be an easy task, but to delete from our memory, that becomes very hard as far as lender is concerned. So, resigned to his loss of the $1 loan, the author relapses to introspections. The result is a hilarious ending to the story of the lost dollar. We'll see the analysis. The author's close friend, Todd, is going on vacation to Bermuda, a small country in Europe. Just before his departure, he wants some small change to pay off the taxi as a fare. So, with him, Stephen Leacock is there, who is author himself. So that Todd asks the author, Stephen Leacock, to lend him $1 to pay the taxi fare, and the author gives him so that he would return after coming back. Now here, Stephen Leacock gives $1 Todd, not as a donation. He thinks some or other day or after arrival from Bermuda, Todd will return that $1 to author. Now, Todd departs from Bermuda. He starts his journey. Todd writes a letter to the author from Bermuda after some days. But in that letter, he does not mention about dollar, any money he had taken from Stephen Leacock at the time of going to Bermuda. There is no dollar bill inside, neither the envelope nor even mentioning about that. In the course of time, 12 months go by. Todd has returned from Bermuda also after 1 year, but has not bothered to return $1 he has taken from the author. The lender is too distant to insult his friend by demanding his dollar back. He tries many ways to remind Todd about the dollar he has taken, but due to some strange reasons, the memory of the unpaid dollar refuses to enter Todd's mind. This is very important. The author lists out the ways he plans how to recover our $1 from Todd. So he prepare a list of the ways he has attempted to remind his friend. First, he goes to the railway station to receive Todd when he returns from Bermuda. Todd is as cheerful as ever he had been, but not the least embraced. The author's agony mounts, increases. Second attempt which Stephen Leacock makes to take his given dollar is that during an evening chat, the author introduces the subject of the American dollar by asking if it is a circulation in Bermuda too. Todd replies, but the suggestion fails to kindle his memory about the unpaid dollar. Here also, his second attempt fails. Then the author meets Todd almost every day in the club, but Todd never mentions about his debt. Todd even says that he no longer remembers much about his Bermuda trip. Now, from this sentence, Stephen Leacock imagines or understands that he had cleanly lost his dollar. The author is frustrated because he has no other alternative. He feels resigned to the loss of his dollar because for borrower, whatever amount that may be, he will not be serious. But a lender who gives money, whether it is $1 or 1 rupee, he always bothers about that because that is permanently fitted in his memory that I have given particular amount to someone else who is going to return some or other day. But in actually Todd's case, it does not happen. So in anxiety, he writes off the dollar. He adds Todd's name to his list of people who have similarly defaulted in repaying their $1 loans. The author remains as friendly with Todd as before because actually he is his friend. So on another day, the author meets Todd one dinner. Todd mentions disapprovingly how Poland had defaulted in its debts. To the author's distress, Todd does not appear to think of his own unpaid debt. With his wounded feelings, the author begins to introspect. He feels if forgetting loans is so human, so natural, so human activity, he himself could have taken such loans and not repaid it. This understanding disturbs him, disturbs author, disturbs Stephen Leacock. The feeling of moral guilt worries the author. He wants his creditors to come forward and claim their refunds. So disturbs the author about this condition of loan defaults, and he wants to start a back to honesty movement, back to honesty campaign for those who have taken loans, and they will repay that taken money from their lenders during that time interval. So he is convinced that honesty should be the bedrock of all nations aspiring to greatness. While concluding, the author wants his forgetful friend Todd not to know about the nuisance the non-payment has caused to him. Comically, he wants the readers not to bring the copies of the story to the University Club, Montreal, frequented by Major Todd, because again he will read that story and will remind about the lost dollar. That will give you much pain. So this was the analysis part of this lesson. Friend, in third part is a discussion. So here we can discuss some important points here also. What I think important issue that I will discuss with you. So first of all, I think is it really author is reluctant to ask Todd to return the amount? There is a small question may arise in your mind. So to answer this question, maybe author felt that asking his dear friend Todd for the return of $1 loan could look mean and greedy because the amount is very small, and even to such a small amount, if you ask many a times that you should give, you should pay, that becomes inhuman. So Todd could get offended by such a request, so the author stepped back from making such a request. I think this is the answer for this. Now, second point that comes to my mind is that is it that you think Todd didn't pay back the $1 he owed the author? Is it the case that he had not money, or it was not his mentality to pay the back, or what actually happens? So, a possible suggestion to this can be, it would be reasonable to assume that Todd had forgotten about the loan. Actually, he had forgotten about the loan. He was a major. Say, as far as Todd is concerned, you cannot say he has forgotten also. Actually, it is the virtues of individual persons. If he is good or uh, virtued persons, definitely he will act like that. But I don't think Todd is of that type of nature. So, Todd is actually a major in the army, and he was not short of funds. He had a lot of money because salary might be there, another resources will be there. The second assumption can be he failed to return because it was too small to be refunded. Perhaps he might have thought that $1 is there. Is it not the point to return? This may also happen. So, as far as Todd didn't pay back $1 he won from the author, this question is there. I think I will go with this second option because the amount is so small that Todd easily passed that point from his mind that I have some other day to return that $1 to Mr. Leacock. Okay. Now, third point that comes to my mind is what sort of person author is, Stephen Leacock. Because when we see the relations of Todd and author, the lender and borrower partnership is there. Author and his friend Todd is also there. So we'll see nature of both. We have seen the nature of Todd that at this moment he has not written money. Maybe he might have forgotten that. But let us see what type of person author is. So here it seems author is a man of principle. He is sensitive, courteous, and has a sense of self-respect. Self-respect. Despite his harassing outrage at Todd's failure to return dollar, author does not allow the loss to affect their friendship. While pointing finger at others, he is ready to look within to search for his own follies. This is why he thinks that he might have failed to return small loans taken from the others. And he reminds that afterward I will start back to honesty movement. Because he also because he is an honest person, he also thinks that I might have taken such type of dollars from others and I might have also forgotten about that I have returned to someone else. So if such happened in my past, people will not ask me about that taken money. So better I will start such a movement, and those who had claims, they will submit their claims, and accordingly I will come to know that I have to pay the loans. So he is in that mood, back to honesty movement. So it shows author's good virtue nature. Now the next point that I think worth mentioning here is that what sort of feeling you get after reading the story. Feelings you get after reading the story. So it's very simple. Story makes excellent reading. When one looks for something comical, non-serious and light, it is pure, undiluted fun to see the torment suffered by the author when his friend does not return the money. Friends, I think these are 4 points think worth mentioning. Then rest of the piece is easy. I will focus on particular topics also, on particular points here also. Major Todd, once again I will repeat, Major Todd is a friend of the narrator. They are good friends and mutual respect for one another. Todd wants some small change to pay off the taxi. He does not have any that time. So he borrows it from his friend the narrator. 12 months elapses, but Todd is yet to refund $1 loan. Apparently, Todd feels $1 loan to be too small to be repaid to his dear friend. So actually, and here the rest of the things happens. The $1 loan is too small to repay. This may be one of the reasons Todd might not have returned that $1. I think. The other reasons could be Todd's is forgetful in nature. Anyway, the reader does not take the lapse, not very approvingly. it is safe to assume that borrowers in many cases, and it's natural, but borrower in many cases do not take their repayment obligations very seriously. I already mentioned. On the other hand, lenders जो पैसे देते हैं seldom forget the loans that they have given. However, tripling the amount could be. जो पैसे देते हैं वो अपने पैसे वापस लेने का कभी नहीं भूलते. इसके अलावा जो पैसे लेते हैं वो बहुत बार पैसे देना है, वापस करना है, भूल जाते हैं. सो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. द फैक्ट दैट द नरेटर फाइंड्स इट हार्ड टू राइट ऑफ द $1 loan given to his dear friend underlines such observation. Now I will come to last point here. The narrator is resigned to the fact that $1 loan would ever be cashed. He has vainly tried all decent tricks to remind his friend about outstanding loan, but Todd has quite intriguingly refused to remember the loan he has taken. Later, the narrator has tried to console himself, thinking how he too had similar feeling. He too has not paid the club dues in time. So, here end this analysis part of the lesson. Friend, from short summary and the lectures in this video that is on analysis part, from these two parts, I think you definitely have understood the lessons properly. So, if you have any queries, you can post me. In the next presentation, we will see another lesson. Thank you. Good day.